Alright, in this video we're going to take a look at how to prepare your bridge for simulation and be put into the bridge supports file that you downloaded. So we're going to start off with under the Assemble tab, or the Assemble panel, we're going to choose Joint Origin. Now, our mode is going to be most likely, you're going to notice in this design, when I put this in the tester, these central beams are going to go through that are running horizontally here are going to be in the way. But I want to go ahead and show you how this process works. I'm going to go over to the option, say, between two planes, and I want the joint origin to be right at the top of the bridge, directly in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose the inside face of the side of the bridge. And I'm going to choose the opposite face that corresponds. When this happens, you're going to get a lot of options to put as you hover over different points on here to create a joint origin. So again, I want to be directly in the center, which would be right here in the middle of this beam. So I'm going to go ahead and click. Now you're going to see the joint origin, as I zoom out here a little bit, is kind of facing like as if the chip is running vertically. So I'm going to go ahead and either I can do a flip option, which just flips the directions. But if I need to reorient it, I can check the box and choose a new Z-axis that I want to run. So I really want a new Z-axis to look like this, where the chip is kind of lying down on top of this beam. So I'm going to click. There's where the Z-axis is going to be. And I can go ahead and say OK. And now I've got the proper, see how the chip is laying there to create my joint. Okay? So, and it looks like the tooltip is going to stay active there. But I'm going to go ahead and hit the Save button and say OK. Now, what I can do is in my new tab, I can go ahead and go into my bridge supports design, and I've actually have a joint origin that's actually established right here, or one will pick up to be right in the middle. So this is our setup. So adequate spacing is already done for our supports, as well as our truss tester. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my data panel, and I can actually go through and drag my bridge design into the design, release the mouse button. So let me just show you. I'm going to kind of move this guy here out of the way, close the data panel to get a little bit more screen, and I'm going to go ahead and say OK. Now, when I go to do this, I'm going to choose the joint option under Assemble, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose the joint origin that I placed on the bridge, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rotate underneath for the truss tester, and I want to make sure that I choose underneath on, I want to choose the whole outside edge, because that's going to put it directly in the center. Now what's going to happen is, now my bridge gets placed directly in the center for where it is, and I can actually see that I'm going to have a conflict, like I said. The central beams are going to go through and conflict with the truss tester. So I'm just going to go ahead and say OK. But as you can tell, looking at it from the front, the bridge is actually going to sit well onto the supports where it should look, and it is definitely tall enough to where the truss tester is going to be able to sit right directly on top of it. So I do need to go back and make some design changes, which I can do in another video. But this will go through and give me a preview of what my bridge will look like in the tester, and to make sure that it will go through and be able to be tested. And right now, it is not. So in the next video, we'll explore how to make those design changes.